Hello everyone, Elspeth here, and we are back in Ashore. So today we're going to talk about how to avoid starvation, because let's face it, that's not fun and nobody wants to starve. But first, really quickly, I'm going to expand our little building over here just a bit. I've gathered a whole bunch of additional resources. You can see up at the top, wood, metal, and stone, mostly wood and stone. So, remember, real quick reminder, foundation is first. The mouse wheel controls the height. We want it to be nice and even with the rest of our foundations, which it will automatically do because they're all set to be the same height. So you'll see that it's automatically placing it at that height, even when we go into the water like that. Now jump into 5, our hotkey, option 5, for our base, which we're doing in stone. And then number 6 is our floor, which we are also doing in stone. All right, so this is going to give us a good area to work on, to work with, to place everything that we're going to need. So, C for our crafting menu again. Now we actually want to go ahead and create the crafting table. Now, the thing to note with the crafting table is that once you select it, you cannot put it back in your inventory. So, under miscellaneous in our inventory, we'll drag the crafting table down, press I to close our inventory, and now we're going to go ahead and set this bad boy up. I'm going to rotate it. Personal preference. Remember, of course, once it's placed, there it sits for all eternity. There we go. Left mouse button places it. And now we can craft what we're going to need to keep ourselves alive. In other words, to get food. Now, the first thing you want is the fishing pole. The next thing is the bow and a bunch of arrows. There we go. That should do us. We don't really care about the rest of it right now because we're hungry and we want to eat. So, we're going to do a couple of things. Because of where we are, the most convenient thing is actually going to be the fishing pole here. But you can see I dragged the bow down as well. We'll play some with that in just a minute. So, out on the edge of our little base here, left click, just click and release to cast, and see, it pulled up a nice fish. Left click again, cast and release. Sometimes you get a fish, sometimes you don't. So you just kind of do it multiple times. There we go, we got a fish again. I think shallow water tends to be better than deeper water. See, look at that. Deeper water, no fish. Let's go for some nice shallow water here. And look at that, I got a fish. So, we've got several of those. All good. Next up, let's go hunting. Now, you're going to start off with some nice easy things. Rabbits are a really good one to begin with. As you get better, and as you get better weapons, you'll advance to harder game. But in the beginning, you're primarily going to be living off of fish and cute little cottontails. Or, you know, whatever we're calling the rabbits in this game. Cottontails, regular rabbit, what have you. Now we have to find some. This is the fun part. You may have to look around for a while to find some. They are generally speaking over kind of, here we'll pull up the map. They're generally over in this area of the island. Larger predators and prey animals are in the center. And I really haven't ever found much of anything along this side. Larger prey animals and predators up on this side, over here as well. And sometimes I can find some rabbits over here. Really never seen much of anything over here either. So, learn to love fish. There we go. You can see the rabbit here. Now, nice and close. Right click to zoom in a little bit. Left click to aim and release. And we missed him. Unless you're a really good shot, wait for him to stop moving again. I am not a good shot, so I wait. Right click to zoom. Crosshairs, fire. There we go. Rabbit stew. Alright, now I'd like to find that arrow here, but I probably won't because it's not really going to stick out. Yeah, I think that arrow is pretty much a lost cause. So, let's head back to our little home here. I know we're ignoring the giant house next to us. Yes, we really are ignoring that. I will show you some of the wonderful toys in there at a later date once we get to that. But now we're going to hurry back. Once we have enough stamina, we'll hurry. Going to head back to our little miniature shelter over here that needs more walls. And then we're going to make the next thing that we need. Now, let's make a workbench real quick. Miscellaneous. Pull that down. Yeah, no, I do want it here. Okay. Now that's K for our blueprints. And we have 11 skill points. That is what you can spend on blueprints. I'm going to splurge, and I'm going to make the largest furnace. So first off, we learned the blueprint. That cost us 3 skill points, so now we're down to 8. Close that. And on the workbench, here we go. Here is our newly learned blueprint for a furnace. Craft that. Now, we don't really have any place here to cook. So, for the time being, I'm going to set this up out here. And push E. Click on your little meat image there. And then left click on the cookable items in your inventory. The only thing that's going to show up over here are things that you can actually cook. So the fish and the meat. Now that you've got them all listed there, click cook and presto, you now have food. Right click on it and it automatically goes into your inventory. Now if you go back into your inventory, go to consumables, there you are. You'll notice here where it says edible true. That means you can actually eat it. Right click and consume. And now you see our green bar has gone up. Now, just for comparison's sake, actually, I can go right here and do this. We're going to go catch a fish real quick. Go back to our inventory, consumables. Now look here, these are all our fish, but the cooked fish says edible true. The raw fish says edible false. You cannot eat that until you cook it. Something to remember. Now, if you're hungry and you're running short on resources, so you can't really craft the big furnace yet, if you go into your basic crafting menu under C, there is a fire pit there. That's not going to let you cook very much, so you're going to want to move away from it pretty quickly. But in a pinch, this will do. Now, remember K, our blueprints, and our skill points. You are going to need some of these items, and that means you're going to need a lot of skill points. What you're shooting for, your goal, is the 20 skill points needed to craft the workstation. Obviously, we've got a long ways to go, and you're going to use up your skill points crafting other items first. Now, to gain skill points, you complete actions in the game. If you hit tab, press and hold, this will show you your stats. How many days, the overall time, the number of current skill points you have, and that experience bar. You don't have levels, you have the percentage of experience until your next skill point. So that's what that experience bar is showing, how close you are to the next skill point. And skills, that breaks down where you're getting these skills from. So you can see here, building 56, that's the highest one. So most of our skill points have come from building. Most of our experience has been gained from building. And then we also have fishing, cooking/smelting, hunting. That got us a whole 1 skill point because we killed one thing. Scouting, loots. That's basically just running around and grabbing stuff. Scouting's not going to be the greatest source of skill points. And then crafting, 32. A lot of your skill points are going to come from building and crafting, especially at first. That's where you're going to get most of those skill points initially. Now, we need more skill points and we need to expand our shelter. So, I'm going to do that and then I will be right back and you can see how many skill points we get from expanding our shelter. Alright, so as you can see, we've got a little bit of an expansion going on here, a little bit more space available to us. This is going to be our bedroom right in here, hence the less impressive interior walls that we've got going on there. Now, you're going to notice something else too. This ceiling here, we put it down all the way around the edges, but I can't place anything here. That's because it has no support. So where it shows red like that, it has absolutely no support and you cannot place it. If you go back into your inventory under your buildings tab, I like to grab the pillars. I find that they are a nice, convenient way to do this. And we're running low on stone and metal, so I'm just going to grab wood. Kind of the same reason that those interior walls are made with wood. Now, let's just place a couple of these around. And you can do this in different ways so that they seem a little bit more intentional and less like you had absolutely no choice but to put them there. So, still need some over here. Not that at the moment there really isn't actually anything to worry about if you don't have a roof. Nothing's gonna come down from above and kill you. It's just nice to actually have a ceiling above your head. Now, you might notice the fact that we've made this nice little shelter here with a big open doorway. Kind of a bit of a problem, right? Right. But if we go into our workbench, we don't have a door. So, handy dandy skill points again. Push K. Now, you're back to your blueprints menu. Now, if you remember, before I started expanding, I was at 8 skill points. Now I'm up to 10. So, got to keep thinking, how can I grow my skill points? How can I grow my skill points? I need more skill points. So, here we go. We've got some doors down here. We've got the wooden door. We have the really lightweight wooden door. We have a metal door, very heavy. We have kind of a metal grill version of a door. And then, pretty sure we've got a couple of others down here too. Oh no, we have different versions of walls. That's what we have. We have metal walls and metal walls with windows. Oh yeah, here we go. 2 other doors. Again, a metal door, and then a slightly better looking metal barred door. I'm just gonna go with the wooden door. Nice and simple. Click learn. Go back to my workbench here. I've now learned how to craft a door. So I will do that. And go back under miscellaneous, pull that door down here. Hit 4. Now you can see Look at the red outline on the floor here. That is showing you how the door is going to swing. So, stand outside to make this line up a little bit better. I'm going to have it swing inward. It's going to almost kind of click right there. Now we have a doorway. All right. And since we have some room, I'm going to move the furnace inside. Push P. That picks it up. You cannot put it back in your inventory. However, we can move it inside. There we go. That has now suddenly become our cooking area. And I'm going to move this guy too. Traverse the little maze that we've got going on here. We'll move him over here. That side of the room will be our crafting area. This side will be more of a living area. There we are. Close the door. And we are fairly secure. Yes, there's gaping windows. I know. We'll address that next time. For now, thank you everyone for hanging out, checking this out with me. I hope this was helpful. As always, any questions, drop a comment down below. Drop a comment if you just want to say hi. Like the video if you enjoyed it, please. And subscribe for more. Until next time, have a great day, everyone.